been living at anchor for a little bit too long now. The entry is a little bit dangerous.
It was very shallow. We were not really confident. It's crazy.
24 knots going into the anchorage. That was absolutely bananas. We haven't seen wind like that for a long time. Good morning everyone, so we've just woken up here in Gerolimionas, or we found out it's more commonly known as Port Leone, which is considerably easier to pronounce. So the katabatic gusts picked up yesterday evening, but it wasn't anything to worry about. And then from about 9-10 o'clock onwards, it was very, very calm. Now check this out, the water is crystal clear. We have a beautiful view up to the old church above us, and looking out across the bay, it is just breathtaking.
I'm enjoying the silence here. It's so peaceful. And after the good night's sleep last night, I just feel really good.
So I think it's pretty clear that between Laura and I, neither of us really want to leave this place. The only problem is we've been living at anchor for a little bit too long now and we're kind of running out of food. So I think we're going to try and check into one of the local town quays here and stop in at a local restaurant for a bit of food tonight and see if we can stock up on some provisions for the next week or so at anchor. After a short sail, we arrived at Kalamos Town Quay. Even without a breath of wind, it was a nerve-wracking entrance.
What happened when we came in? Well, first of all, it was very shallow at the entrance of this harbour, port, whatever. We could see the water very clearly and all the rocks on the sand bottom. We have a draft of 1.85 and Luke registered a depth of 2.8.
No, 2.2.
2.2, so it means like we had like what, 20-30 centimeters below the draft, so we were not really confident at that moment. A lot of sweat. So now we are in the town quay of Kalamos. We're gonna have lunch and then we're probably gonna go for a walk, find a cafe because we need some internet connection for you guys for the next YouTube episode. Ah yeah, we also need food and water because we realized that we'd like to spend more time at anchor because in Greece it's just amazing. So we need to be a bit more prepared and have a good organization about what we're gonna have for lunch, dinner, and do the grocery shopping accordingly.
What's up guys?
Hey everyone!
So here we are in Kalamos Town, so the main town of the island of Kalamos, and we arrived yesterday afternoon. We had an interesting time as we were coming into dock because there are only a handful of spaces available here, and well actually they squeeze a lot of boats in here. You have what's called anchor chain spaghetti happen here because everyone's med-mooring, throwing out their anchors to secure the bow. And we were fortunate because when we arrived there wasn't many boats here.
Oh no, like 5, something like that.
Exactly, but at the same time, as we were coming in, we had difficulty getting good holding of the anchor, so we had to drop the anchor twice. And when we pulled it up the first time, we found that the chain had wrapped around the anchor. That was mostly my fault. From coming back to the anchor with too much chain out, trying to do something tricky to get the anchor to set. That didn't work.
This morning we woke up quite early because of the fishermen. Well, that's okay that way. We have a productive day because this morning we still have to fill up the water tanks, which probably is going to be tricky because the access to the tap is actually not in front of the boat. It's on the other side of the harbour, and
there's only 2 taps in the entire marina or town quay, so we're a bit limited for choice, and one of them, the one that the unofficial harbour master wants us to go to, is in pretty shallow water. I'm not super comfortable about that. And the other one is where the fishing boats are. The ones that left earlier this morning, they actually have only just come back, and I was hoping they'd be out for a few more hours so we'd have a chance, but
so there's no space right now.
Looks like that ship has sailed, as they say.
Good one. But let's see, because we really need water. And we also want to pick up a bit of meat so we can have a barbecue on the beach.
That's true. Absolutely. We haven't had a barbecue on the beach since, where were we?
Vutumi.
Vutumi? Or was it Two Rocks Bay?
Ah.
I think it was Two Rocks Bay.
Yeah, I think you're right. Two Rocks Bay.
And that was pretty magnificent. So we'd like to do that again somewhere or other. So let's see what we can pick up. Put a few veggies on the barbecue as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Bit of onion. Oof, sounds good. What do you guys think? What's your favourite barbecue on the beach recipe? Let us know in the comments below.
Either with meat or veggies.
Exactly. We love everyone here. Omnivores, carnivores, vegivores, vegetarians, right?
Vegetarians, yeah. Well, let us know.
After finding everything we needed, luck was on our side and a fishing boat on the town quay directly in front of the water supply left. So we made haste to the other side, filled up, and were on our way once again. So we've just left the town quay of Kalamos, and it's an interesting place. The entry is a little bit dangerous because there's some quite shallow rocks. The locals know the trick. You need to make a bit of a 45-degree angle as you're coming in to get the deeper water, which we weren't aware of in entering, but we entered very gingerly. But leaving, we did the trick and we left perfectly fine, and all good.
That was easy.
Yeah. We managed to fill up a bit of water while we were there as well. We were warned that you can't drink the water, not that we've really been drinking the water from our tanks since really moving aboard, Talia. So now we're heading around the corner to the second of these forgotten islands, as they're known, to Kastos. And there's a little bay on Navali that's not actually on Navionics, which is called Wasp Bay. That looks very, very nice in the pictures we've seen on Navali. And based on the comments, sounds good. Very good holding.
Good holding, but a bit of swell.
Yeah, let's see. They're forecasting about 1/2 meter of swell tonight, which is not ideal for us, but that swell is apparently coming from the land side, which is impossible. So let's see if it curves around into the bay or not. Anyway.
Also, I'm personally a bit worried that it's packed when we arrive because we're quite late.
Yeah.
It's 11:30 in the morning, and usually we prefer to leave early, to arrive early, so we have the best spot. And here we're a bit late, so
Yeah.
Hopefully it should be okay.
Well, look, this place is full of bays, so if it doesn't work here, we'll find somewhere else. Anyway, we'd like to stay in Wasp Bay. Let's see. Stay tuned. The departure from Kalamos seemed like any other morning cruise in the Ionian. Seas were flat and there was barely a breath of wind. Then Mother Nature threw us one of her curveballs.
We've got 22 knots on the nose as we are entering that anchorage right over there. It's crazy.
That was absolutely bananas. 24 knots going into the anchorage here right now. We've still got 16.7 knots in the anchorage, but at least here it's a bit calmer. Okay, so we made it to this place here, Wasp Bay. We've dropped the anchor and we are now set. We've put out at least 5 times the depth of what's here, I think probably a little bit more, and attached the bridle. This is an interesting situation for us. This place, you've got katabatic winds that come in and hit all at once of, what, 18, 19 knots. And it's not forecasted to do that until later this evening when the thermal winds pick up. So I'm a little bit terrified about what's going to come tonight. Let's see. Look, the anchor is holding very, very well. The holding here is notoriously good. We've put out plenty of chain, so I think we should be okay.
There's no swell so far. So
Indeed, there's absolutely no swell, so it's very comfortable. If there was no wind, this place would be
it's
absolute paradise.
gorgeous. It's amazing here.
Water is crystal clear. It's one of those bays that I've always said, if the water looks like a bottle of Bombay Sapphire, it's a good place to drop anchor, and that is definitely this bay here. Alright, so we're in 18 knots of katabatic winds, forecasted to get to probably 25 in the afternoon. So I'm going to dive on the anchor and just make sure everything's in ship shape. Based on what I feel and see up here, I think we should be okay. But it's nothing like diving on the anchor to give you peace of mind.
With our anchor well set, I couldn't let Luke have all the fun, so I decided to explore the sapphire-colored water as well. Our Mantis anchor loves digging into the silty sand. Our neighbor's anchor was a little less enthusiastic.
These guys had emptied their entire chain locker and tied a couple of lines to shore, satisfied that it would do the job. Each to their own, I guess. After a very windy afternoon here in Wasp Bay, it seems like the wind is starting to die down now. It's what, 8 o'clock? Something like that. And we've just finished dinner. It's all good. We're getting a little bit of swell in here, but nothing too worrying. I think we should, all being well, we should be in for a good night of sleep. I needed after that, battling in to come in here. It wasn't even a particularly long sail. It was a pretty short sail from Kalamos Town around here to this little anchorage on the sister island of Kastos. I don't know, I think because we spent all day in the sun, but as well we were punching into the wind, and it's exhausting when you're sailing into the wind, and it was really windy as well. We haven't seen wind like that for a long time. But no, it's pretty beautiful here, and we're watching the goats call out to one another on the beach just in front, and it's amazing the contrast of colours, the very, very crisp white dry rocks, and then the rocks that get hit by the sea, very dark. And then on top you've got this really lush, vibrant green flora, you know, bush that's growing on top of all of this rock. It's pretty impressive. And the formations of the rock in this bay are just incredible. Oh, we're back in the sun again. The sun's come up again. Talia's just moving around a lot. 35 metres of chain out, that'll do it. In 6 metres of depth. Anyway, from us, I think that's it. I think we'll have a quiet night tonight and head on up to Sivota tomorrow, because I think tomorrow night it's going to be even more windy than it was today, and I think Sivota is a good idea. We can then do some laundry. Laura's been telling me that we've got a lot of laundry piling up. Not my laundry, because, well, I wear the same thing every day when we're at sea. But no, it'll be good to be in a bit of civilization again. Good night! Thanks for watching, guys. Join us next week as we head on up to Sivota before making our way to the birthplace of Homer's Odyssey. That's right, we're heading to Ithaca. This is an important one for us, so if you're a sucker for adventure, be sure not to miss next week's episode. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to click subscribe to ensure you don't miss a step along the way. Cheers, legends!